Hello, Tauruses. Welcome back to Souls Intersect. I have your Nifteen reading. If you're interested in a private reading with me, please email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. I do intuitive tarot video readings, and I also do past life readings. If you're interested in reading any more about those, please visit our website at soulsintersect.weebly.com. And I also put together a healing and guided meditation video, and I'll paste the link to that in the description for this reading. Okay. So an overview of what I see here is, well, with both the Hanged Man and Temperance next to each other and being in the reading together and both being major arcana, I see that a very prominent thing for you right now involve some sort of delay and needing to be patient for something to come about. It seems to be a very large theme for you right now. And what that's related to is I'm getting messages about a few different things. But what I'll say about the Ace of Swords and Eight of Swords first in general is that it does feel like you're waiting for an answer or an understanding, an explanation of why something happened the way that it happened. And with the Eight of Swords, whatever that thing is, it feels like it's something that is definitely getting you down and, for some of you, preventing you from moving forward. So in a sense, it feels like you need closure for something for some of you, and there is a delay in getting that. The Three of Cups was on the bottom of the deck, and that it's a very positive card. It feels like the outcome of this ultimately will be very positive. It may be in your favor for some of you. And it may also be, what I'm feeling from it is that although things might not turn out how you expected, it might actually end up being better than how you thought it was going to be. So I'm not sure what that's directly referring to, but I think it will make sense for some of you. It also seems like some of you are in a relationship and are waiting for marriage. I mean, it's hard to deny that with the Three of Cups. I definitely feel that for some of you. I even just picked up that someone's waiting for an answer about attending a wedding. Maybe you asked someone to attend a wedding and you're waiting for an answer for that, or waiting to see if someone will attend your wedding that you sent an invitation to. I apologize if there's any background noise. There's some construction going on. Okay. But yeah, I definitely get that some of you are in a relationship, and I'm seeing with the Temperance card, Temperance, and the feet, one being in the water, one being on the land. It's about balance too, and it can be about yourself and being in tune with both your intuitive side and also being grounded here on Earth. But I'm picking up for those of you in a relationship, it feels like that you and the person you're in a relationship with are on two different pages, and I feel that you are really interested in traditional marriage and getting married, and you're hoping that this person will ask. And it's something that you feel like you've made some sacrifices because it seems like it's been delayed too long for you from your perspective, and it's involved you making some sort of sacrifice around it. Like how that would look is something like maybe you've talked about marriage with the person, and this person wanted to wait until maybe they got a new job somewhere and you had to move somewhere together, and they wanted to see how that turned out, or to wait until they started making some more money or something like that. And so you felt like you made a sacrifice. You went with them, or you went ahead with that, and it caused more waiting for you, and you're just not sure how it's going to play out, and you're feeling really anxious about it and impatient. And it's understandable. I do feel like the universe is encouraging you to continue to be patient. Remember that everything happens for a reason. And so if there are even delays, can happen for a reason. Sometimes there can be interferences. Sometimes there can be negative influences around. But usually most things happen for a reason. And so yeah, the universe is definitely encouraging you to be patient with yourself and also with the other person. Okay. But for some others, it does feel like it is to do more with that issue of closure. And I'm just seeing a lot of happiness with this rainbow and the fountain and the Three of Cups and the three dancing figures celebrating. And I can feel the guides sort of cheering. So I feel like there's going to be a happy ending. You also be waiting for someone to come around in terms of getting together with someone. But it also feels like some of you have ended something and you've been waiting for this closure, and there's multiple people involved. So it might almost be like, I'm getting a situation where, so you've broken up with someone, say, for example, you're not sure, or someone broke up with you and you're not sure why, or what all the details of it are. So some of it's really unclear to you and you're wanting clarity. And there's someone else, so a friend of that ex or a friend of yours who communicates with the ex is kind of a go-between and maybe the person who will deliver your message or bring that clarity back to you. And it feels like that person could be a match for some of you. I'm really getting that. So if it's a friend of your ex and maybe you haven't been seeing them in that way, because with the Hanged Man, sometimes it's about literally looking at something from a different perspective. That's the Hanged Man is upside down, gaining a new perspective on something, and it's giving him clarity because you see the white light around him, so that's illumination. And we have the illumination behind Temperance too, the sun coming up behind the mountains there. And it's definitely something you've had a lack of clarity of because you have the clouds in the Eight of Swords and even that cloud in the Ace of Swords. And then, of course, the Ace of Swords is also about clarity. So you've had this lack of clarity, and seeing something from a different perspective can offer you that clarity. So that could apply to some of you in different ways. But what I was getting at was that this other person may not have seemed like a possible for you. So again, just to reiterate, it feels like there may be someone else involved with some matter of something you're trying to resolve with an ex. And that other person feels like they could be in for you. And I'm hearing cheering again. I really feel like this might be a revelation for some of you. Or for some of you, it might have been something you're wondering about. Maybe that's what's led you here. Or maybe it's been more subconscious and you've felt some stirrings, but you've been more focused on the feelings involved in this Eight of Swords and feeling stuck in something, maybe something in the past, having a difficult time with the transition in general. So it hasn't been at the forefront of your mind seeing this other person in this other way, but I really feel like this third person could be a really good for you. And I think that's where the 3 is playing in too, because it's a celebration card, but it's also 3 in reference to that third person. And when I said that things happen for a reason, isn't that beautiful how that might work out? Because you had this connection with this other person, it have ended, maybe not how you wanted it to. There's some lack of clarity. That lack of clarity that's felt so uncomfortable and has made you feel blinded to the truth, like in this Eight of Swords, and bound up and unable to move, has possibly brought you closer to this other person. And so it was kind of orchestrated. It's something that was very possibly done for a reason. And when I tune into that energy, it does feel like a good, and so this might not have happened yet for some of you. You end up still seeking out help with getting clarity about something. It may not be a friend of that person. It could be like, this sounds really cliche, but like a divorce lawyer. I'm just giving an example. That's not a message I got, but just an example of a third party that could get involved, that you might have a connection with, but it could be anything. It could be that on your path, you randomly come across on your path to find this clarity about this other person, and it does feel like an ending, that you come across someone else and they're good for you. But I really do get the feeling they're more involved, that it's not just some random occurrence because of where you happen to be on a certain day. Someone that you've talked to about it, someone who them may not, but understands the situation regardless, and is a friend. It feels very friendly. It feels like they've definitely lended an ear and a helping hand, but they could very well be more, and it feels very nice to me. It feels like a really, really lovely connection. They could be a water sign, that could be an extra clue. And Pisces, this particular Three of Cups has that fish in the fountain. And that also just represents healing and positive emotions. But it could be a signal for this reading that it's a Pisces. And then there's also that 1 foot in the water. So it definitely could be a water sign coming in for you because you're Earth. And so it's like 1 foot on the earth and 1 foot in the water could be tying you into that new person with the cup. And there's also the cups in the Temperance card too. So I do feel some water coming in. And I'd say finally that could be that some of you have a water sign as your rising sign or moon sign. And it could just be a signal that there's all this air energy, this desire for the Ace of Swords, clarity, the muddled confusion, and almost aggressive feelings in this Eight of Swords. It's all air energy that the water could be coming in to reassure you, to bring you comfort, and also could be speaking to your possible rising sign or moon sign. But for some of you, it does feel like that third person. Okay, Taurus, I hope you have a good month of Moon. And again, if you have any questions or are interested in a reading, please email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. Thank you.